Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. Tonight we're going to take a look at starting a farm again. Last time we looked at the new farmer mode. This time we're going to look at the farm manager mode. This one's a little bit different though. The idea is still kind of the same, but with farm manager and start from scratch, you start with nothing. But you have more money to start with, sort of. Yeah, I mean you do. You're about 1.5 million, whereas with New Farmer you had about $800,000, maybe 900 to work with, but you don't have anything, so you have to pick out different things. So the first thing you're going to do, and once again, this is what I kind of want to emphasize at the beginning of this video, is that each farm is different, and you really kind of need to look over the map to see what the author had in mind. For example, and this is going to be one that I'm going to pull up first before we get into like a default map. We have Marwell Manor, which is available both on PC and console. And we're going to go ahead and start a game here. There we go. Map is loaded. And we have, I'm going to take a look here at the in-game map. I can get there eventually. All right, so here we go. The author has done something interesting with this map that will kind of... that will throw you off a little bit. If I look at field number 8, for example, I'm going to buy this field, right? I'm starting with my 1.25 mil. This is a $303,000 field. Field number 7 is $441,000. If I'm not careful, and I look here, though, this is going to be a lot, right? You got 3 fields, all this land. 450. Wait a minute. So let's do this again. 441. 450. So the author clearly wants you to buy this plot of land to start with. This is not true of even the Giants maps. So my point is, when you're starting a new map in this mode, you need to really take a look at the plots of land, how much they cost, because every map that you're going to run into is going to be different. And some authors have different intents, and they mess around with the pricing of the fields. And so like here, these are, these are all priced about what they would cost in real life, right? But then you have this giant plot here that is going to cost $450, so it's a really good deal. You'd be crazy not to start a farm. Now, when the first time I played Marwell, and actually Moni and I are going to be playing on this map tonight, we started a farm together. We made the mistake of buying this and this. We missed out on this huge deal down here, so we did starting from scratch, so we had less money to work from, but this is all we bought. So this is what we're stuck with now. Now this is still a big field. 6 is a fairly large field, but we're missing we could have had all this land. So now every time we do a farm on Marwell, we buy this plot of land to start with. But my point is this: you need to explore the map before you make any financial decisions, and then you can make financial decisions from there. Now here's a big issue though with this one. If I spend 450, that's only going to leave me with about $1 million for equipment, and these are huge fields. So you're looking at getting maybe starting off with not bothering with any kind of fertilizer, plowing, weeding. You're going to buy the biggest tractor you can with the biggest seeder that you can and the biggest harvester that you can, and you get those 3 devices. You probably could do that for about $1 million. In fact, let's do a little scenario here where we do that on this farm. I've bought this huge plot of land. The next thing I'm going to look at, and that's we're going to go to take our loan out. You don't have any crops in this mode. So we're going to go to our financial center, and we're going to borrow as much as we can. I think they take us up to $500,000 loan, maybe $550 loan. But it should take us just over $1 million. Yep, there we go. There's $1 million, $500,000 is the loan. So we've got 1.49 mil, and we're going to 1.049. Let's go into the shop and see what we can buy. My idea would be large tractors. If we're going to go in-game tractors, let's see here. You want something that can pull a big Cedar. Let's see if we can do this. See, here's the problem. So we're already like 400 horsepower. Let's see what our big Cedars cost. The Cedar is going to run about $100,000. You need to have one that cultivates, because if you're not going to buy any other equipment, the Australia is probably the best from Stara. The Australia 32 is probably your best bang for the buck. And it can do fertilizer. So you get one stage of fertilizer with this. You could also buy one of these kits, but these are way expensive, so we're not going to have enough money. So Let's go ahead and buy the Australia. Good. And we're going to need a big tractor to pull that. 420 horsepower is the minimum requirement. So let's see. What comes with 420? Not 409. So that probably could be upgraded fairly cheap. And that's actually really not that expensive. Let's see. What does the 8R cost? $299. Way off on the horsepower. 409. And we're going to go for, let's see. There's only one CVX, 435. That brings us up to $334,000. That is enough horsepower. There we go. We have $500,000. We still need a harvester and a tipper. So let's go ahead and look at the harvesters. So we have the AGCO. We have that case. It's not going to cut it. Wait, where did my... Oh, there it is. Okay. 430, 465, 420. These are all about the same, so you really could save some money by going with the case axial flow. Now in this case, the John Deere actually is not a bad deal. Now the axial flow is nice because the header, but here you're saving $30,000 if you go with this. Why does it matter? It does matter because you're still going to need a tipper. Even the Roslamash might be an okay deal. Let's look at the headers for these and see what the header sizes are. So our AGCO headers are $78,000. The Roslamash is $58,000. The John Deere's $90,000. The case is $90,000. So we're looking at $500,000 for those two, and you can't afford it because you have no tipper. So really, the Roslamash is the thing that you're going to have to go for. So you're going to be doing a lot of harvesting. This is 9 meters. These are 12 meters. So you're losing out on some size. It is what it is. So there's 50, and we're going to pick up the Roslamash harvester and see how much money we have left for a tipper. It's not going to be a lot. I mean, you could even go down for the smaller John Deere. Once again, we have $143,000. That leaves us enough money for a tipper. And then we can sell the crops that are on the fields. I think, unfortunately, you don't have much to start with, if I remember right. I would just get, let's see. The biggest one that you can get, this is going to be this guy, the Stroutman. You'd have to get trucks for these. So I'm not looking at mods right now. So this looks like the best deal. And it's actually really not that expensive. So you can't buy these because these are for chaff or straw. So we're going to buy this. And that leaves us with $78,000 to do the field work. You're going to have to replant, like field 19 is all grass. You're not going to be able to get that off unless you rent a mower and grass equipment. You could do that. You've got some money left over. But I'll tell you what, even if you do 50% and let the weeds grow, you're going to get some serious money off of these fields because these are big, big fields. You're going to get about $200,000 to $300,000 if you do soybeans, and you can do all kinds of other crops too if you want. But you're going to make some money with soybeans. I would vary the crops between fields because the price will start to crash. Maybe do canola on one, and but these need plowing and lime. Maybe after a cycle or two, you could do plowing and lime on these. But to start off, that's where you're at. You can even rent a plow if you want. This is ready to harvest this barley. So you have money right here. You can just harvest this right away to start with and make some more money back. If this is barley, I'm going to say there's probably $80,000 to $100,000 worth of barley on this field, if not more. Maybe 120. So you've got some money right there. So harvest the field, get your money back, and then you can start doing field maintenance, buying equipment to like weeders and seeders. But to start with, that's how I would do this scenario. You just get the big equipment right off the bat and get selling. So there you go. To be honest with you, I would almost rent this harvester or rent a harvester and then buy a case harvester to match my nice case tractor because that's how I work. But that's how my brain works. All right, let's move on to the next farm. Here's another great mod map. Now, this is not going to be applicable for console, so I'll make this quick. But I want to show you this. This map is cool because it has farms all over the place. So if you guys watch my multiplayer series, I've bought this farm. And so once again, we have 1.2 million plus 500,000 in loans, so 1.5 million total. You start with nothing, but for about $500,000, I can get this field in this farm plot. A little bit over, maybe almost 3/4. Now I have to start with smaller equipment. I get one tractor, a tipper, and let's visit this place, right? So if I buy this farm, I've driven over to where this farm is located. It's got barley growing on that field. So I need a harvester, a header, and a tractor with a tipper. And we could buy that stuff and then get the income from the barley, sell that, and make a bunch of money. Maybe rent a loading wagon. We could even rent the equipment and then buy what we want later. But having all this money is nice because it gives us some flexibility. Now, the thing you got to be careful of with renting and leasing. When you rent or lease equipment, it's cheaper if you actually keep the equipment until you're ready to buy something, because it's let's take a look at the leasing menu. This is part of this whole game. I would buy a tractor and a tipper and then lease a harvester, and I would keep the harvester on your farm until and this is what I was talking about on the last map too, until you're ready to buy one. Because here's the deal. Let's say we're going to rent the biggest harvester. We're going to get this nice AGCO Ideal. This cost us $23,000 to lease, but then if you look at this, it's only $4,000 per day to keep. Now, as you use it, let's say it takes you 2.5 hours, 3 hours to harvest that field. It's going to cost you about $15,000 to use the harvester for that. But if it's taking you 3 hours to harvest a field, you're harvesting a really big field, and you're definitely making at least $70,000 to $100,000 off that field. So you're going to make that money back in the lease. So that, let's say if we take 3 hours and we're making $30,000 of expenses plus $4,000 for the day, so $35,000, you still made a $50,000 or $60,000 profit on that field. And it's probably, honestly, at 3 hours, you're going to be making a lot more than that. I would imagine 3 hours of use on this guy is going to be like $200,000 or $300,000 of income. So, but if I keep turning this thing back in and then leasing it again, now I'm paying not only those fees, but I'm also paying the initial leasing cost of $23,000 over and over again. So my suggestion is, if you're not going to buy something, or you don't have enough money to buy a big harvester, but you need one, and just like that last map where I bought a harvester, it might have been a better idea to lease it. And that's something that you need to think about. With this giant field, I definitely would need the biggest harvester, so I would lease it. And these fields are more expensive than the Marwheel field, so I'm going to end up running out. But you can see this is a nice map because it has buildings already. You don't have to build any buildings. I've already got, storage, 2 big storage barns, and there's some more stuff over around the side. There's room to place stuff, though you might have to use the Placeable Anywhere mod. But this is a mod map, so once again, this is for PC players. Sorry, guys that are on console, but I just wanted to show you this so that you can see this is one of, I think, maybe like 6 or 7 farms that are on this map. There's a farm right here that you can buy. There's a farm here that you can buy. There's a farm here that you can buy. And this is, I wish more map makers would do this. It gives you the opportunity to make your own, this map your own. There's a farm here in this section, or an empty lot. This is nice because, like I said, it gives you the opportunity to kind of decide where you want to farm, how you want to set up your farm. And I really like that. A lot of maps right now are what we call one farm maps. And they only have one place to really set up a farm. It's kind of like, you can set up your own farm. But there's the only one spot where you can do that. These maps are great because they, once again, afford you the ability to set up in several different locations. Mercury Farms is another farm that has that. It gives you the ability to decide where you want to set up. And so I like that about Mercury. I like that about Michigan. Now Mercury is a map that you can get for the consoles, so you can actually purchase lands. Though I think Moni was saying when she looked at Mercury last time, even though you can buy the plots on PC, you cannot buy the plots on the console for some reason. So the map maker screwed up, but that may have changed by the time you watch this video. But I just want to show you that this is one thing that's different about this map or Mercury, is that you can buy different farms in different places. So now let's go to a normal scenario where we're looking at like what Giants' idea of this was supposed to be. So we are on Ravenport, and here, this is where they start you. It's an obvious, they want you to set your farm up here, and they've given you some fields and a nice flat spot to put buildings. And once again, that's important because The buildings get kind of weird when you're on bumpy land, so you got to watch. So let's take a look at our map. Once again, the first thing we do is we're going to take a look at the in-game map. I'm pressing my outer map. And we're going to look around the map, and really, I don't see any blank plots except for, oh, right here. See this? We definitely want you to buy this section. There are other places to buy. You could do something here maybe, but I think, can we buy this? Yeah, that's the whole ranch. Oh my gosh. It's $500,000, and there's no farmable land on that plot. But you could buy that for a home if you wanted. And like I said, there's like a horse arena here and stuff. And if we did do that, let's take a real quick look at the ranch. I'm going to get out of this mode, and we're going to visit the ranch here. Let's say I did buy this. Now, you know how you have the home marker so you can sleep? Well, you're like, well, gosh, I have to build a house even though I have all these buildings. Like, you could definitely live in this building, right? There's places for people to live. There's a house here. Here's how you fix that. There's a mod available, and I believe it's also available on the console. I'm positive it is. I'm not positive. I'm pretty sure. And we're going to go in here to our placeables. I'm going to show you this. This is one to download for sure, especially if you're on PC. Once again, I'm not sure if it's on console or not, but I think it is. There's this little, wait, this is the wrong spot. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. Deck chair right there. It's $149. It makes any place on the map a home, sweet home. I can't do it because I don't own it, but I can place these deck chairs once I've purchased this land right here. And every night I can come home and go to bed, you know, by just sitting on the deck chair. I walk up to it and I can go to sleep and fast forward time through night. The whole point of the home. And every time I start the game, I'll start here too. I won't be at that other plot. So this is a nice spot to set up and make it. But you can do this to any home that's on the map if you want to kind of play that way and make it like a realistic thing. I like the deck chairs are a cheap way to do that, especially if you've bought land that has buildings on it already. So I just thought I'd give you that little tip. But let's go back to our map. And so we're going to exit out of there, and we're going to exit out here and go back. This is the plot of land they really wanted us to buy. So we're going to go ahead and bow to giants and buy this plot of land. We got some fields. They're probably going to need to be redone. Let's go ahead and buy it. We'll take a look at the fields that we've just purchased. So hold on. So we've been given a field of canola. Needs plowing. We've been given a field of cotton that's growing. And we've been given a field of sunflower seeds that are already grown. I mean, I have to kind of leave this one up to you. It depends on what kind of crops that you want to plant. But I prefer doing the grain crops. So if I'm going to start a farm, I'm going to look at wheat, barley, canola, oilseed radish. I'm not oilseed radish. Oats. Or soybeans. Things that come off of a cedar rather than a planter. Because the cedars are faster to work with. You don't have to plow every time. And now you'll notice the difference between this mode and the new farmer mode is that you now have to plow. So these fields need plowing. So you're going to have to rent plows. Once you plow, though, if you continue to grow like canola or soybean, you never have to plow again after that. So, but if you grow corn, sunflower seeds, potatoes, or sugar beets, all four of those kinds require that all four of those crops require that you plow every time. So if you put potatoes down after the potatoes are harvested, you're gonna have to plow the field. And so once again, we're not going to get into how to manage your fields, but we'll do that in another video. But you know, you need to consider that these need plowing, so you're going to have to rent a plow and plow these fields once you're done with the harvest. I would honestly go with the grain crops, though, rather than going with corn, sunflower seed. But it's up to you. That being the case, I'm going to, when I purchase my equipment for this farm, I am not going to buy a corn/sunflower header. I may rent one to get, and actually I would, because there's probably $10,000 of sunflower seeds on this field. But you might also just want to plow these under if you don't feel like renting. So, but you could rent a corn header for your harvester, and you get the crop off the field, or you could say, I don't really care, and just plow this under. The cotton, you can't do anything with. You're going to have to rent a cotton harvester. The amount of money it's going to cost you to rent a cotton harvester is going to cost you more than the crop that you're going to get off this field. So I would bury this field, just plow it under. Last but not least, you have the canola. I would let that grow and then harvest it and then plow the field. Once again, if you're going to lease a plow to do these fields, I would plow all 3 fields at once, and so I would wait to plow, or whatever you're going to do until after you've done this field. I'd get all 3 fields at the same state so that they're ready to be plowed. I would then put lime down on all 3 fields, and then you're ready to go. And you can start farming, but I would take care of this field first. Maybe rent a harvester and do this field, or rent a header to do this field. But it's not what you're going to buy. So let's go ahead and see what we're going to buy for this setup. And the cool thing is there's going to be a little surprise at the end. So let's go ahead and go into our sales menu. And we are going to look at the equipment that we need to buy. But first of all, oh yeah, that's right. We need to get a loan too. We need to max out our loan so that we have money. And that's here. So we're going to borrow up to our $500,000 mark, which will give us just over $1 million like it has in the other scenarios that we've looked at today. There we go. There's $500,000. We have $1.1 million to work with. Definitely going to look at tractors here, the medium-sized tractors. Since we're in America, I would say instead of doing the Vario, let's do the Pumaman. I would get the largest engine that you can get. Yeah, it's going to cost some money, but it's still not bad. 210 is really not bad. We do want to get a front loader attacher because we're going to need to move seed and fertilizer over to the farm. So we're going to get that, and that's good right there. We're going to go ahead and buy that. And we'll go ahead down to the shop now since we have this. All right, so there's our tractor. This can do a lot of stuff. It's got 100. How much is it? 280? I forget what the horsepower rating was on this already. 270. So now we're going to get a Cedar. I would recommend for the Cedars something mid-sized. This guy's going to cost. This one's nice because it puts down solid fertilizer. And it also puts down seed at the same time and cultivates. This guy does not put down the fertilizer while it does it. And it's not as wide. But we have pretty narrow fields. I don't know. This is a hard choice for me. If you get this one, no matter what, you're going to have to get some kind of solid fertilizer because you're going to need to spread lime on your fields. You could either rent that or you could buy this and, fertilize by hand. So I'll explain that in a sec. But I think we're going to go with this one because we're going to save a little bit of money. We don't need to get the horse, but if you're, this is a hard decision. I'm having a hard time. If I got this one, I would rent something to do lime. You know what I'm saying? But if I get this one, I would buy something to do solid fertilizer and lime. So it's kind of a trade-off. You're not really saving any money, but you're kind of breaking even. So maybe do this because it's wider. There we go. So I'm going to buy this. So I've got that. And we're going to need, let's see what else. There's so much stuff that you need. And this is why this game is different than 17 and why it's taking me so long to get there. The next thing I would suggest is a sprayer. I've got to find those. They're crop protection. Just get this one. You don't need the biggest stuff. This is fine. It's got a decent capacity and a decent spread. Now, this is going to be used both to weed your fields and to spray your fields for fertilizer. So the fields require that you put down 2 stages of fertilizer. So you're going to put the first stage down with this when you seed. You're going to put the second stage down with this when you spray. If weeds grow on your field, you're also going to use this to kill the weeds. So we have herbicide and fertilizer going in this, and then we have seed and fertilizer going in this. So we get our fields all taken care of as far as our getting 100% growth out of the field. The next thing that we're going to need... we need some sort of trailer to move things around. Now, unfortunately, Giants has not given us very many options. If you don't do mods, all you've got is this SE 802, SEK 802, and you can make it a bale wagon. You can then use the front loader on your tractor to load this up. This is probably, unfortunately, our best option. The other option is expensive, and that is going to be our under balers. You have this, the DPW 210. If you are using mods, there's a host of other trailers available. We've got these Edurants. These are also available on the console. I know for a fact these are on Xbox because we've been using one. So I'd honestly use this. This would be my choice right here. We've got The DPW, that's a good choice too. This is nice and huge, but it's also a little bit clunky because it's so long. It's kind of hard to fit in and get down the road. We've got this guy. We've got the Metal Tech. So basically the Bale Trailers is where you're going to look on your mod hub to get. So if this were me, I would be using, this is a really ugly mod, but this is what I would use if I was using a mod. So let's go ahead and grab that. The Michelin tires. They have a wide tire setup, but you can't do it. So it's just wide tire. So we're going to do $10,000. There we go. So this is what we're going to load stuff onto using our front loader, which we don't have yet. So we're going to get our front. I think you need the bigger arms for this truck yet. And we're also going to need a pallet fork for now. And we're going to need to get a weight. So let's go ahead and grab. Once again, I like the AGCO 1100. That's usually what I pick. It's enough weight for pretty much any of the things that we're going to pick up with this larger tractor. So that's what we need from the store to pick up stuff. What are we missing? So we've got field care. We've got the ability to get product to and from the field. Now, we need a harvester. Once again, this is going to be the same as my new farmer tutorial. I'm going to suggest that you get the MF Activa, the Massey Ferguson Activa, or Activa, or however you pronounce it, because these are a lot more expensive, though the RSM's a good deal too. If you're in America, you might want to be, if you're a John Deere fan, you could go all John Deere. Once again, the world is your oyster, but I'm going to save $85,000 and go with Massey Ferguson because this one really doesn't do much more aside from hold a little bit more capacity. So the Massey Ferguson to me is a much, much better deal. I'm going to buy that. I'm going to buy the header for that. Not corn. We need to have our wheat header. There's that. And I'm going to buy a trailer for that header because it's going to be hard to drive around the roads with that. So we're going to get a little trailer. Probably a wise idea. And we did this in the other tutorial too. There we go. So there's a Massey Ferguson trailer. And let's take a look and see what we got. We got all that stuff lined up here. Okay, so we have a harvester now. What are we missing? We're still missing a tipper. So we're going to need to get a tipper. Once again, I think the best bang for the buck tipper is going to be your Joskin. This guy right here, Transpace. This can hold a decent amount of crop. So we've got that down. All right. So now we've got a way to move the crops. What else do we need? Let's see here. So let me think in my head what we need. So now things that we still have to buy, and I'm going to include this in this because it does make a difference. I'm going to say to get started with the fields that we have, we're going to need at least 1, 2, 3, 4 kegs of seeds. We're going to need solid fertilizer, 1, 2, 3, probably 3 of those. I would get 2 liquid fertilizers for now. And 2 herbicide tanks for now. So we should have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we have I would say that's probably what we need in materials to get the farm planted. And I'm getting more than I need, and you'll see why. The next thing that we're going to do is we have that soy. Let's say we're going to do the sunflower seeds. Once again, I don't know if it's really worth it or not. I have for a field that size, to be honest with you, personally, I would just plow it under. But if you want to get fancy, let's take a look and see how much it costs to rent a corn header. And you don't have to rent a big one. To be honest with you, I would just get like this guy, the Corn Champion, because you don't need to spend double the price. Because that field is so small, you're going to have it done in 5 minutes anyway. You might as well just rent the cheap one. So to lease this, it's $900. Yeah, go ahead and do it. We're going to lease this, so we can get that sunflower seed off the field. You're also going to need, once again, we talked about the culti plow. We're going to need to rent a culti plow to plow the field. Those fields that you have all need plowing, so we're going to rent this culti plow. And once again, hold on to these for a little bit because you'll see why. Don't just take them back, right away. Make sure you're taking them back when you're done using them. This one you can probably take back right after the sunflowers because you're not going to plant those anymore because that cedar does not plant sunflowers. You need a planter for that. So we've got these two things leased. These are farm tools that we're going to need for our farm. That leaves us with some substantial money. We are not hurting for cash right now. So you have a choice to make. If I look at the map and I look at what I've got as far as field space, I don't have very much going on. It's a really small farm. You could buy field number 19, but this is expensive because you're getting all trees and a little bit of field. This one is also expensive at $280, but this is a good deal. $147? Yeah. We're going to buy that. So now we have more field space. We can make more money with our farm. And let's see, how much do we have? We have 301 left. I'm going to buy this too. 171. That leaves us with $130,000, and we still have a lot of land. Now we have much more to work with. The downside is we are split. So there's going to be some driving back and forth, but that's just how it is. But now we have a decent start. So once again, let's go through the equipment list and everything that we've purchased and leased. I've got my tractor. That's going to be the motive power. The tractor has included some weights and a forklift set and a trailer to move materials because we're going to need to move all this stuff to our farm. I'm going to have our planter, which fertilizes and seeds at the same time. We need to fertilize the fields and also kill weeds. That does this, so we're going to have 2 stages of fertilization. This is all good. We got a tipper to collect our stuff. We've got the harvester and the header and the trailer to move it. We also have a corn header that we've leased and a culti plow that we've leased. We've got lots of materials here to get the first round of fields planted. And we still have $130,000 left over, but there's more that we have to do. So hang on one second and I'll show you. So we are on our plot of land and we need to have some buildings here to take care of our equipment. With Farm Sim 19, you do have to maintain your equipment. We talked a little bit on the last video about this, but there is a need to have a maintenance shed, something to clean your tractors with. I would also get a fuel tank. Some of that comes through mods. All of it is available in-game, but we can look here at this vehicle workshop's $28,000, or I found this mod, and once again, I don't know if this is on the console. Moni, do you know if this is on console or not? The little toolbox with the jack, that's a workstation?
I don't think it is.
Okay, so maybe it's not. So unfortunately, it may not be. Thanks, honey. So this is a PC mod, but it's not available for you guys that are on console. So I'm just going to use the one that's in the game because that makes it more fair for everybody. One of the reasons why I try to check that stuff is, whoa, how'd I get over there? Okay, we're going to go back into the build mode, miscellaneous. We're going to build a workshop, and it puts me here, so I'll be back. All right, I've arrived on my farm, and we're going to place the shed, I don't know, anywhere you want, but I tend to try to put it like here. That works. We're going to place it right there. We now have a vehicle shop. This allows us to repair our vehicles. The other thing I would do, definitely, is to get a washer. As you guys know, I'm fastidious about cleaning my tractors. I would put this on this side. Make sure you don't put this by the trigger for the repair shop because that'll mess things up for the repair shop and you won't ever be able to trigger it. So you need to put this, don't put this by the trigger. You want to put it over on this side. Another thing you might want to consider is a home. Did I just buy another one? No? Okay, good. I thought I bought something I didn't want. We have a house that's really expensive. Now, I know these are available on console, the trailer house. I don't know if the farmhouse is or not, but I think it is. I'm pretty sure these are both available on console, but I don't remember. But we're going to go for this Lizard. I think it probably is if it's a Lizard brand. We're going to buy this farmhouse and put it on our land. It's trailer park. Where is the front door? The doors are over on the other side. We'll put it in a nice little shady spot where not getting scorched by the sun. There we go. Let's see how that worked. There's our little farm home. And so we still have $72,000 to work with. So here's where you got to ask yourself, do you want your tractors inside or outside? Do you like to protect your equipment? I personally am an advocate for equipment protection. It makes things safer. So let's go ahead and put down our shed. We have these easy sheds. Honestly, the first level ones are fine. There's all kinds of stuff available. There's actually a new pack that has all American stuff. It's pretty cool. I haven't downloaded it yet for the PC, but I do want to get it. It looks really good. I don't think it's available on console. Then you have these easy sheds with lights. I'm going to splurge and get the light one. It's actually the same price, so it doesn't really matter. But we're going to put I'm going to put one here. I'm going to put a couple of these down. Maybe if we put them over here. Wow. Oh, you don't own this land. This land is not your land. This land is my land. Okay, let's put it over here. Since it doesn't want to seem to go there. There's that. And I want to put this back a bit further. Can't do that there. Does that look straight? That looks nice and straight. And maybe a second one across the way. And I don't have the place anywhere mod. People are saying there's a place anywhere mod which gets rid of this issue. But we could. I wish I could put it directly across, but I can't. You don't want to put it too close either. See, I want to put it back here. I can't. I don't want to put it too close because that's going to make issues getting in and out. So we're going to move this one. Let's see. Maybe we could put this one. I need to move this. Hold on. This guy's right where I want to put it. So, holy cow. Who thought it would be this difficult? All right, so back here, grab our easy shed with lights. I'm going to get rid of that Eurotunnel mod. That's just annoying. We don't need 400 Eurotunnels, thanks. We can put this one here. This will be a little bit better, maybe. I don't want it to be near... Oh, come on. I don't want to be too near the field because it's going to cause problems when I'm trying to harvest. So, no, that's a bad location. Let me put it here. How does that give us room getting in and out? That's pretty tight. I'm getting picky now. There we go. So let's see how that looks. Good. Oh, perfect. Well, anyway, you get the idea. I'd have to redo this. That's not good. I should have lowered it down into the ground. Once again, putting stuff on non-level ground makes weird things happen. But that's the idea. You get the picture. So we now have a farm set up. We have all the equipment that we need to run the farm. And we also have the buildings that we need to maintain the farm and a place to live. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I think we're all set up to farm. We got several fields. We're going to make some money. It might take a little while to make the farm profitable and pay that loan off, but you will do it. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a great night. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Farming Simulator 2019. Bye.